Shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rokah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostle, nails of great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, have mercy upon you. I'm on the Brother Page Holy Bible Defenders out of Baltimore. And the name of this video is Genesis, Israelites, the Lake of Fire. He got N, he meant N, is not here in Babylon, aka America. So now you got you got Assad and what is his name? Assad and Hakar, which is formerly known as Genesis. Now they are in other words, they getting more and more bugged out. You know, like the more they see, this is why. In other words, you know, too much Ronald Dalton got Genesis and which is Assad and Hakar bugging out. Now the lake of fire is a lake, right? In the what do you say? He say in the area of the so-called Middle East, which is Bozrah, which is already a damn wilderness, which is a slash of desert. So let's get into it here, very quick. Let's hit this foolery out, and then I'm gonna go into. I don't really have a overall starting point from where I'm gonna go, but let's just hear it out, man. This shouldn't be hard at all.
Concerning what?
We understand that there's going to be
there's going to be a whole bunch of questions in regards to this. And listen, we love nothing more than questions, but this is specifically to focus on the topic of this video, which is America is not the lake of fire. And then we're going to go into proving where the lake of fire actually is. So any questions that are kind of offshoots of that, just save it for now and for another video, if that's cool, which is America is not the lake of fire. And then we're going to go into proving where the lake of fire actually is. So any questions that are kind of offshoots of that, just save it for now and for another video, if that's cool.
Hey, I got to keep switching arms. Pause. I got to keep switching arms, man. This Excalibur is heavy. Somebody said my arm's going to give out by the end of class. This is the imagery. This is the imagery right here of the biblical description of the lake of fire. The biblical description of the lake of fire, it actually starts in Bozrah and it ends in Megiddo, which is also known as Armageddon.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at it, it looked like a snake, right? It looked like a snake, but see, a river keeps flowing. So even though it's shaped like serpentine, it still has a start and ending point. So it still can be considered a lake of fire. So it says, the doctrine of the lake of fire has long been misunderstood, confused with Christian mythology, or misapplied to America's coming nuclear destruction. We're not abandoning that at all. But when we rightly divide the scriptures from Isaiah and Ezekiel, and Revelation, and 2nd Ezra, a far clearer picture emerges that the lake of fire is not America, but a literal, visible, divine judgment zone that begins in Bozrah, Edom, stretches through a nearby wilderness of purging, and concludes at Armageddon, where Yahushua crushes the beast and its religious deceivers. Anything on that aside?
Yeah, and just if you guys can see the imagery on the right, this is just further proof that the battle Armageddon and the battle at the Valley of Jehoshaphat are not the same battle, but they are in both literally and in terms of physically and in terms of the time period in close proximity to one another. So if you look at Armageddon, is the Valley of Megiddo. There you see it on the top right there. Valley of there you see Megiddo, and then you have Jehoshaphat, which is underneath. So they're not the same. They're close, but they're not the exact same.
Right. Okay. We'll continue. This final fiery path will consume the enemies of Israel, Edomites, 2/3 of wicked Israelites and world militaries, NATO and EU, before transitioning into a new phase of dominion where Israel rules and the other nations serve, backed by prophecy, geography, and a consistent timeline. We got to be consistent, y'all, and logical. This study reveals the true location, purpose, and phases of the lake of fire, and it completely dismantles false doctrines that spiritualize, got to get on the Christians too, or misplace the most serious judgment events in Scripture. Look at Yahweh. Look at an accurate depiction of Yahweh Shai crushing these Edomites. Production was crazy though. Section 1. America is Babylon, not the lake of fire. Some things we took away, some things we added. Go ahead.
It's not nuclear, it's divine. This is Yahweh Shai's baptism by fire.
Ooh.
So he says some things we took away and some things we not added. So it's clearly that they are looking at something that someone created or wrote up or whatever. I don't know. But the thing is that these two guys here, they wants to be the it, right? They wants to be the premier group to that have all of the secrets of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which is this here does not where it consists of prophecy, but when you're finding books, where the scriptures speak about many books in Ecclesiastes 12:12, many books, right? When you're indulging in all these many books and you're seeing things and you're thinking you come up with a new idea or a new the Lord has given you another sign or another revelation concerning what's about to come and this here. Hey, the scriptures is clear on what's about to come and what's about to happen, which is Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh. Meaning, you're always coming up with a concept that you think is brilliant by using what? These other books. Let's hear a little more of this crap. And I'm going to go into my spiel, which is a lesson concerning facts concerning the scriptures. So let's get into it.
3:11.
Oh my God.
And that baptism, now watch this, and that baptism, it begins after America is already gone. Which, if it begins after America is destroyed, then that means America cannot be the lake of fire, because obviously it's been destroyed already. Babylon is destroyed, and
America cannot be the lake of fire. Destroyed already. 18. He had a clear throat. He really didn't want to say that shit. You can tell. Listen to him again. 41. Let's see something here. Oh my goodness, man! I saw. Cut it out, man. Cut it out, man.
Fire.
Ooh.
3:11.
Oh my God.
And that baptism, now watch this, and that baptism, it begins after America is already gone. Which, if it begins after America is destroyed, then that means America cannot be the lake of fire, because obviously it's been destroyed already.
See, you got a clear throat because you know you're full of shit. Because one thing, the scriptures, especially in Revelations, it goes, you could be, for an example, right? You can be reading, let's go to Revelation 20 right quick. Give you an example of what I'm talking about concerning this, you could be reading the scriptures, and the scripture could be talking about something and then go into a whole nother The first 1 or 2 paragraphs could be talking about going into, not 21, what I need. Yeah, 20. The scripture can be going into a subject, and the subject could be concerning, for an example, which is 20, which is Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. Now that represents what? Bondage, slavery, right? And a great chain in his hand, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is Esau Edom, which is the nation of Esau Edom, the dragon today, right? That old serpent back in the Garden of Eve, huh? Who was a malicious person, who do what? Do harm. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Meaning what? Esau Edom, the devil, the so-called white man, was subdued for 1,000 years. Now, let's go to verse 3. In the very next chapter, and cast him into the bottomless pit, Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal, which was a spiritual seal, upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years be filled, and what? And after that he must be loosed a little season, which is right now. That little season is right now, which is what we see. And go over here, go into verse 7. Look at what verse 7 say. Then I'm going to come out of this here. Verse 7 is what? And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Now this is what? This is 1,000 years. This is the resurrection of who? Of this devil. Today, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the Renaissance period. 1300, the early 1300, when he came out of the caves, what? To reign. This is all in what? In one chapter. Just to give an example of what I'm talking about, because he said 18. If this could be talking about, if the lake of fire is in, okay, America gonna be destroyed in 18. He reading 18, which he knows to be what? The burning of America being what? Babylon, which is America. Then he going into 19, because he using the term lake of fire, which starts in what? 19, I think, Revelation 19 and 20, 19, somewhere in 19, I think it's later verse, goes into what? The lake of fire. And the lake of, just because it don't say lake of fire, and got a Babylon being what? That lake of fire, one in the same sentence, meaning that what? It's not the lake of fire. Don't you know America is 5,000 square miles? What other place is going to be engulfed 5,000 square miles of it engulfed in flames of fire? There's nowhere else on the earth going to be engulfed in flames of fire completely but America. Man, these dudes, man. You know, let's hear a little more of this crap, and I'm going to go into a lesson, man.
Babylon is destroyed in Revelation 18. The lake of fire doesn't appear until Revelation 19, which is proof that Babylon is not the lake of fire. And for the record, this is just one arguendo. There's literally not one verse verbatim that says, and Babylon is the lake of fire. Just throwing that out there.
See there? Just because it don't have Babylon and the lake of fire being what? One and the same. You know what? Let's ask Google something right quick, y'all. I'm just finna ask the question. Right? Is Babylon and the lake of fire in the same definition in the Bible? Let me see. I might have asked it wrong just then, y'all. I mean, it's confusing. Hey, that's confusion. This is America. This is Babylon. So confusion is coming from who? Mainly the what? The people. Babylon the Great is destroyed, and the Antichrist is thrown. into the lake of fire. See that? This is okay. Let's read this right here. I'm gonna click on it. Hold on. Let me read it again. Hold up. It say Babylon the Great is destroyed, and the Antichrist is thrown alive into the fiery lake of fire. Babylon is what is in the what the Bible referring to. What does the lake of fire means in the Bible? What is the name of the city of the Revelation? I'm not going into all that, but let's hear a little more of this out, and I'm gonna go into my lesson and give a little more understanding concerning what these guys are talking about, man.
It says, so let's not confuse a nuclear warhead with Yahushua's wrath.
To let you guys.
What you mean? It don't excuse the nuclear warhead. That is part of the wrath of Yahushua. Does not it's the scripture say in Isaiah? Hold up. Since he said that, Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63 goes into what? Who is that? Coming from what? From Edom? Which with dyed garments, Bozrah, which is in what? Which is in Jordan, which was the capital of Edom. Bozrah, this is glorious in his apparel, traveling in what? In the greatness of his strength. Which is who? The angels, the chariots. I speak in the what? The righteousness, mighty to save. And that greatness is the multitude of chariots, man, which is what going to be what? Bloodshed, which is the day of the Lord. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? Wherefore art thou red? You know what? I was going to make this kind of last for real, which is, because we know that miracle spiritually is what? It's Bozrah. I'm a whole lot, because I'm going to come back over there, but I want to, somewhere else I want to go first before I actually go there. So let's hear it.
No. The reason I even started studying this and research.
See, he said I came up. So why would anyone listen to this guy here? First off, sitting up and holding a damn sword in his hand, doing a lesson and talking about his arm gonna wear off like he's Moses or something. Abraham's who that was, Abraham or Moses standing on holding up the that's Numbers, holding up the anyway sit out here holding a damn sword in his hand. See, he's full of gimmicks. This guy's full of gimmicks, and he trying to what? He just trying to attach which is he is definitely a stumbling block for many, and he's going to continue to be a stumbling block for many, which is who, which are non-elect, which are going to be what? It's going to be in that lake of fire. So let's hear a little more. I lost my chain of thought, but let's hear a little more. But I want to get to a starting point.
Searching this, and then Hassan looking into it as well, is a brother on every Tuesday we do the.
Oh, in other words, like I was finna say, that's what it was. These two right here. So y'all come up with this. Me Assad looking into it himself. So you all two are that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua dealing with, huh? The same two guys that just come out of Sakari, which was a big scandal with their leader, which caught up with pagan devices and all that. So y'all was under him, which taught you all, which y'all still teach concerning the Apostle Paul word not being authenticated or whatever the term, the other term that you use concerning Apostle Paul letters. So we supposed to listen to you two guys.
Genesis Generals class. A brother asked me a question. He said, "Hey, priest, I'm trying to sharpen up my sword, right? I need some more precepts on how the lake of fire is America, Babylon." And I'm like, "All right, I got you."
See, now he took a simple question that That's just like, hey, America and Babylon. It don't say America is Babylon. America is not in the Bible. Hmm? But you still teach that Babylon is America, because we know that spiritually it is America, just like spiritually, Bozrah is America. That you are trying to equate to be what, something outside of America concerning the lake of fire. So you want to use an actual lake now. What is crap at? An actual lake, which is here. You want to use this here and say that this is the spiritual connection between the lake of fire that the Lord is going to do. So I'm done with that. I'm not playing no more of this crap. Let's go to Bozrah, right? Let's see Bozrah. So they claim that Bozrah is the where the lake of fire is. So this is Bozrah here, right? Which is, let's load up a little bit. Let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, here we go. This is Bozrah right here now. What the hell is going to be judged out here? A bunch of rocks? Let's read this thing here. It say, the photo below, taken from the west side looking eastward, shows how the city was what? Protected on all sides by a steep cliff. The flat-topped area was where the ancient city of who? Esau Edom, stood alone with agricultural area. This flat mountain top was connected to the hill behind a narrow causeway, several houses wide. The main city gate was here, with high walls and fortification. The location provided Bozrah with a natural fortress-like location, and city walls were only minimally needed. The size of hills have trees on them to give you an idea of the scale. So this is Bozrah, y'all. So if this is how you going to equate the city of Bozrah of today with the lake of fire and judgment that is going to Bozrah is going to receive the judgment, because clearly, hold up, let's read this right here. A great deal of confusion. This is what this is. A great deal of confusion has come about by people confusing Mount Seir with this location. Rather, Mount Seir was what? Mountains of Petra, which they should do. Petra was also not the capital of the city of the Edomites. Also, Bozrah was not Selah, nor was Petra Selah. Selah is what? The next valley of the left of the photo. It was what? Okay, I'm not going into all that, but this is Bozrah. For the most part, this is Bozrah, y'all. This right here. This is where the judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, that these guys say that's supposed to be, it goes into a long, long spiel. So, hey, let's go back over here. This is what these two guys, you know what, let's go up here to, like, probably about 7. I think I heard right about, I'm going to start by right here. Let's hear this right here.
While in torment, what can he see? Abraham's bosom.
Now, the way we're deviating from the traditional One West breakdown of Luke 16 and Abraham's bosom, this is about to hit y'all like a ton of bricks. Traditionally, it's believed that the Gulf and the fire is America. It's not. The Gulf is
now you heard it. The Gulf and the fire is not America.
Still close proximity, you can see it. But the fire is the lake of fire. Abraham's bosom is the kingdom. The fire is America. It's not. The Gulf is still close proximity, you can see it. But the fire is the lake of fire. Abraham's bosom is the kingdom. So that is a slight deviation, but it shows you through precept and understanding, considering all things in totality, how it makes much more sense.
Verse 22, verse 14, it says, "They will be."
It makes more sense to your followers, because your followers don't know nothing. There, you know what? Let's go here. Let's go to Jeremiah, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 49, right? What do I want to start? One second, hold up. I'm gonna start here on verse. Let's start up here at 12. Jeremiah 49 and 12. What? For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup are surely drunken, and art what? Art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt what? Shall surely drink of it. Now, verse 13. For I have what? Sworn by myself, saith the Lord Yahweh, that Bozrah, here's Bozrah. How about just keep this on the screen? Here's Bozrah right here now. Here's Bozrah. What do verse 13 say? For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord Bozrah, Lord Yahweh, that Bozrah, which was the capital Edom, or say the capital Edom, shall become what? Shall become a what? A desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a what? A curse, and all the cities thereof shall be what? Perpetual waste. So this is future prophecy right here. This is the future of what? Of said, which is what today would be what? America. Let's jump down to verse 17. Verse 17. Which is Jeremiah 49 and 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Now you can go to what which is Revelation 18, and which is they clearly say that is America, right? Which is I'm not going to it, but Revelation 18 goes into America concerning be astonished, meaning what? You know what? Let's just do it. Since they spoke on it, let's just go to it. Because this is their clarification of America not being that lake of fire that the scripture is speaking about. Let's see. Where we at? 18. I was trying to get the same. You know what? I was trying to get the same. Where I say the scripture say where I say right here. I'm doing a little too much for real. I just need to just read. Let me just go to. I'm not going to look that up. And verse 17 again, which is Jeremiah 49 and 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that go about it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Meaning the what? The missiles. The plagues are what? Of the nuclear missiles. And he said that Hassad said don't get confused nuclear missiles mixed up with the wrath of the Lord. Right? All of this, even the missiles that was created for the overall death and destruction of America, is what? Is the Lord's. Including the armies that are gathered in what? In Yahweh Shaphat is of the Lord. It's not he's the what that is, 16? Revelation 16 and 16. Revelation 16 and 16, and it goes into what it say? Behold, I come as a thief, blessed. No, verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the what? The Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, meaning what? War of troops. Which is what? Men in flesh that are going to be what? Which are going to gather together in their land. But we're more focused on the lake of fire and the overall version. If you're gonna choose any part of the world to call a lake of fire, that will be America, because all 5,000 square miles of America will be engulfed in flames. Let's go to verse 20, which is Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he has taken against Edom, which we know who, Edomites, and his purpose that he has proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? That's Amalek. And who are they trying to draw out? Which is who? America. America is going to draw to what? Amalek. That's America. Which you can find in what that is actually in Jeremiah 50 in verse 43. Jeremiah 50 and 43. The king of Babylon has heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and what? In pains as of a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan, unto the habitations, like unto the swellings of Jordan, the habitations of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her, who is what is chosen man, that I may appoint over her. For who is like me? Who will appoint me the time? Who is the what? That shepherd that will stand before him? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he has taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he has what? Purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, which is what? Spiritually now, it's Esau, Edom, which is Babylon, which is America. Surely the least of the flock, which is Amalek, shall draw them out. Surely shall they make habitation desolate with what? With them. Verse 46 of Jeremiah 50 and 46. At the noise of taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. Babylon is America. They're clear on that. He clearly say that we're not saying that America is not going to get destroyed, and America not this blah 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 blah. America is Babylon. They're clear on that. So at the noise of taking Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. So here we go. Let's go back over here, because that goes into and further goes into what? Talking about that destroying wind. And that destroying wind goes into what? Fanners, which is what? Which is foreign nations of the enemy that are going to come into America. Hey, Jeremiah, let's go to verse 21, which is Jeremiah 49 and 21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry of the noise. What noise? Which is the what? Starting with what? The nuclear destruction that are going to hit America. This is Bozrah right here, y'all. Ain't no judgment of no people over here in Bozrah during this time. America is spiritually Bozrah. That's all this is. The term that I use, which is what? Which is Bozrah, which is an area, because that was at one point was what? Edom's land. Now, the overall, the big dog, the Edomite, are who? America. Who know that the America is that golden cup in the Lord's hand? There's that cup. So it's their time to drink. So who's gonna? Well, verse 21 again, which is Jeremiah 49 and 21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry. The noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he, Yahweh Shai, shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Bozrah, which is Edom, which is Edomite, which is America. And that shall what help Bozrah over Bozrah. You know what that is? Isaiah 36. Hold up, let me see something real quick. I think that's Isaiah 36. Or is it 34? Isaiah 34 or 36? 34 and 36. I mean 34 in verse 6. Which is okay, 34 and let's see. Let's start at verse 5. Which is hold on, let's see something real quick, y'all. 1 second. Nation. Armageddon starts off in Armageddon for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon Idumean. Let's go to verse 5, which is Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumean. That's Edomites as a whole, right? And upon the people of my curse, to what? To judgment. Now verse 6 is where I want to get. The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and what? And with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For what? For the Lord Yahweh has a sacrifice in Bozrah, which is spiritually is America, which is the capital of Edom, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumean. Let's stay over here. Idumean, right? And let's see. Let's go to, now I can go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah, which is Isaiah 63. I'm over here in Isaiah already. Let's go to Isaiah 63. All right. This is Bozrah here, y'all, on the screen here. It's not talking about the actual land of Bozrah, which was in past time belonged to what? The Edomites. No, he's talking about America, which is spiritually known, just like America is spiritually known as Egypt. It's spiritually known as, because in Egypt we was what? We was slaves, right? Just like we was in captivities, just like we over in captivity in here, right? Just like we are what? Most of us are comfortable now in the devil's kingdom. Just like we was once upon a time, most of us was comfortable in what? In Egypt. Being under the Edomite, which a lot of you all think we are, which is damn Hamites, which we're not. We're not the modern day Egyptians. Those are Hamites. So that comfort is always, because when we was free out of Egypt, what happened? A lot of them wanted to go back. Why? Because they was in the desert, in the wilderness. They was in the wilderness doing what? And a lot of them were receiving judgment, because a lot of them was what? Was wicked as hell. So the Lord was what? Was destroying the wicked from amongst the righteous, which is what is going to happen in America, which is known as Bozrah. Because only a 1/3 is going to be saved out of America, which is going to be judged. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, which is spiritually known as America, right? With dyed garment from Bozrah to the capital Edom, near the river of Jordan, right? This that is glorious. Let me read it back for you. I missed something concerning the dyed garments, blood, which represent blood shed of Esau, Edom, which is in Isaiah as well, which is Isaiah 66 and verse 15, and it says Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots, with a what? A whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And those flames of fire equals to what? This is the judgment, man. Huh? This is the judgment that the Hawabah Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to put on America, man. Which is, it will be engulfed in flames. And a portion of that engulf that's going to make that engulfness of the flame is going to be what? Those nuclear missiles. What you mean? You can't, how you going to separate, you know, the wrath of the, how you going to, you can separate the, because there are going to be nuclear missiles, which is known as the plagues, right? And there are going to be chariots, they're going to shoot lasers, and there are going to be angels, which is all of the death and destruction. All of them are one. One and the same, because all of it is what? Is the wrath of the Lord, which equals what? The judgment of what? Of America. Starting with what? You Israelite, which is you 2/3. Then what? All the other nations. No one will be saved over here in America, which is Babylon. But what? The 1/3 of the children of Israel. I'm going to get that too. Who is that coming from verse 1 again at the top, which is Isaiah 63:1. Who is that coming from Edom with thy garments, which equals what? The bloodshed from what? From Bozrah, which is spiritually known as America. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. And the greatness of his strength outside of the nuclear missiles is who? The angels in what? The chariots. That's another level of what? Of destruction. A whole nother level. But guess what? They all are going to what? It's going to be one version of what? Of death and engulfed in flames with America. And that includes what? Those nuclear missiles. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Ooh, Lord. Verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel? Meaning what? That's total destruction of what? Of America, of said America. America is the only nation that are going to be destroyed totally. And that will not be what? Rebuild, build back up. Only thing going to be left over here, like you see over here in Bozrah, the old Bozrah, is going to be what? Nothing but desert-like creatures. At least on the outskirts of this place, you have what? You have Bagita? Let me see something. Which is what this, let's see something right quick, y'all. Sarah, hold up. Let me look at this map right quick. Which is, hold on, let's see something. Bagito, I think it's Bagito. I think he mentioned it too. In that and that what made me want to look it up, because he's on. You know what? I'm doing too much. I'm doing a little too much, y'all. Let me slow down. I'm doing a little too much, because all he's gonna do is confuse a lot of you. But let me finish this. I'm gonna finish this out. I'm not trying to make them. I'm already 43 minutes in. Let's go to verse 2, which is Isaiah 63:2. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, meaning what? Red, which equals blood. And thy garment like him that what? That treadeth, meaning what? To lead. In what? In the wine fat, Esau Edom, which is America. Huh? I have trodden the what? The wine press, America, the people, alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them, who? The Edomites, in my anger, and trample them in my fury, in the blood, which is what? Which is a metaphor, shall be what? Shall be sprinkled upon my garment. So no blood is going to be sprinkled upon his garment. He's going to be what? Safely witnessing in the sky, should I just say, in the sky with what? With the chariots and the angels, and what? The 1/3 of the children of Israel, because most of the 1/3 of the children of Israel, they're going to come out of what? Out of America. So this clearly is talking about America. not Bozrah, which is what over there in the so-called Middle East, shall be what? Sprinkled upon my garment, and I will stain all my remnant. Meaning that's going to be total destruction of said America. Verse 4, and I'm going to close this out. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, meaning in my mind, and the year of my redeemed is come. The redeemed of who? Which is his elect. Oh, I can't cut it off yet. Let's go to, real quick, let's go to Matthew's. Which is Matthew's 24. Yeah. Where's the elect going? Where's most of the elect going to come from? Hassad and Hakar. Where's most of the elect going to come from? Out of America. So this is the let's see. It started at verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation, and that tribulation is Daniel's Jacob's trouble, which is in Daniel 12:1, right? So in Daniel 12, or should I say, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her what her light, the stars. Who's going to be saved out of Bozrah? Look at this place, a desert wasteland, a great deal of confusion. Amen. Shall be immediately after the tribulation, meaning Jacob's trouble, meaning the hell that you're going to catch over here in America. Of those days shall what the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Where's that, y'all? America. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth moan, and they shall what? Shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. What that is, Ephesians. I'm not going into it. Verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. So his elect are going to be gathered out of Bozrah over here in the desert? Huh? There's no 1/3 of Israel, 1/3 over here in Bozrah, over here in this land called Bozrah. Wickedness, man. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, which is the four corners, from the end of heaven to the other. So this is which is the first fruit of Yahushua, right? The first fruits of Yahushua, which is 1 Corinthians 15:23, goes into what? This first fruit of the first fruit, because Yahushua is that first fruit, which is that the first spirit that was created, and which is what? Which is in 1 Corinthians, which is again, it's 1 Corinthians. I didn't read it, but you can go to it yourself. 1 Corinthians 15:23, and show that what? The first fruit of Yahushua, which is the 1/3 of the children of Israel, which is his elect, that's going to be gathered together from what? From the four winds, and most of the elect is going to be what? Out of America. So Bozrah, the actual Bozrah, is not the lake of fire. So they normally say, Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rukah HaKudash, Shalom.